Columbia Law School, Dennis Martin Gillan. I'm coming to your town March 12th. I'm doing a lecture. March 12th. What time is that? 12:10 to 1:10 p.m. JGH. I know what that stands for. That stands for Jerome Green Hall. I can read my screen over there. JGH 102A. That's where we are right now. Capacity. We're going to fill it. What are we talking about? Mental health, suicide prevention. That's important to lawyers and aspiring lawyers. I do a lot of work here in where I live now. I'm born in New York, but I live down in South Carolina. I do a lot of work with the local chapter of the Bar Association. And they have a thing called Lawyers Helping Lawyers. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about mental health, risk factors, warning signs, what Columbia Law School offers you all as far as resources. We're sponsored by Devinimus, the wine club. We're going to talk about that and the social aspects of communing around good wine. It's going to be a great talk, and I need you to come. When I did a talk like this for a chapter of the bar in Charleston, South Carolina, one of the women there she was focused on family law. She was a lawyer. She said, I came to your class. I got this feedback months later. She goes, I came to your class because I thought when I do my family law, I was going to need some tips how to talk about mental health and suicide prevention. I thought that's what I was going to need it for, my clients. And then she said, I needed it for my partner, another lawyer. You guys work hard, you play hard. We're going to talk about risk factors, warning signs, some things that I did to get back on my feet. They're right there behind me. I lost two brothers to suicide. That's actually taken in New York, Valley Cottage, New York, just up the Hudson River from you all, where I grew up. I was born in Brooklyn, and then we moved to the suburbs. My brother Mark, my brother Matthew, 11 years apart. We're going to get them out of the way early because it's an issue of self-preservation. I left them to the end in my award-winning TEDx talk. And by award-winning, I mean they gave me a free water when I got there. So that's an award, beauty in the eyes of the beholder. I left my brothers to the end, and I lost both of those guys to suicide. One while I was in college, and then one while I was a professional outside, 11 years later. And I will never do that again. We're gonna talk about them, get them out of the way, and then focus on you all and focus on the audience and some of the things I did to get back on my feet. And one of them was go see a counselor. So it's going to be a big part of it. We'll talk about some other stuff that I did that's going to be funny. Believe it or not, I have some feedback from college kids, not too far off from your age. Here's one from a young lady who said, I would say it's a very serious matter which was spoken about lightheartedly. There are times we will laugh. Yes, it's a suicide prevention talk. And when I talk about my brothers, I cry every time. But we'll get over that. Well, we'll never get over it. We'll get through it. And we will then progress to talking about being proactive. Kept everyone engaged and made the topic a little easier to talk about. And that's what we're trying to do. If you think about it, we're trying to make this topic easier to talk about. Because I'm in the suicide prevention world, and we want to go upstream and talk about mental health. So I talk myself out of work. Oh, here's a nice one. This one young lady said there wasn't a boring part of his entire presentation. Wow. It was awesome. Usually not a big fan of guest speakers. I was a guest speaker at one of their meetings, but he was honestly incredible. Such a touchy topic. He did so well talking about it and made it interesting to all of us girls. This was a sorority, 10 out of 10, which is kind of funny that I spoke to a room full of sorority women when I couldn't talk to one in college. I had no rap. But I do have a rap around this topic. So give me from 12:10 to 1:10 Thursday, March 12th, JGH 102A. Subject to change, but that's what we got right now. I'm going to be in the building. I'll be there, and I want you to be there. It'll be the most impactful talk, and you have a lot of choices that day, by the way. I want on the calendar, and there'll be a lot of talks in that hall. This one could save a life, and that life we save could be yours. All right, see you there. That's my message. Look forward to it. March 12th. It's going to be nice and warm. All that snow is going to melt. I'm so excited to come back to New York, and while I'm there, I will visit the grave set of my brothers. Still hurts. We'll talk about it.